everybody. Welcome to another episode of Man Cave. Let's get into it. Today's topic is bisexuality.
Oh shit.
On today's episode, I have my lovely friend, Miss Malik. For those of y'all who remember, she is the feature on my song, Who Wants Smoke?
Who wants smoke? Money on my mind, I'm just trying to get mine. Who wants smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who wants smoke? And you know I ain't lying, I hit you with that iron. Who wants smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke, you can have a whole. Who wants smoke?
She say, you want beef? She got chicken.
You a joke and I'm winning. Talk about me cause you wishing you could beat me. You can't fish it. You want the beef, I got chicken.
I be hungry.
Bisexuality is what we're talking today. Let's get into it. Okay, so first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to this bisexuality thing, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but what is the deal with studs?
What do you mean?
I don't understand. I mean, I understand studs, but at the same time, I don't. Because here's my thing. Now, if I was a woman, I most likely would 100% be either bisexual or lesbian, because I love me some women. But, okay, if I was a woman and I liked women, I feel like I would like women for, like, the makeup, the long hair, the boobs, the skirts, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, ooh, we wear the same size, I could borrow your clothes and shit like that. But it's like, when I see a girl with a girl that's like a boy, it's like...
confusing.
Well, then don't you just like boys? Like... Like,
I feel like it's you know, everybody has their own opinion on that. But all in all, a woman is a woman. You know, a masculine presenting woman is still a woman. Feminine presenting woman is still a woman. You know, and I think we could say the same thing about males. You know, a male that presents himself feminine like is still a male. You look at him and you know, okay. It's a dude.
Right, yeah, because see, it's the same thing with guys. Like, if you a guy that likes guys, then I expect to see you with a guy that's, like, freshly dressed, clean haircut, you know, the type of guy that keeps his beard, like, real nice, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, I'll see guys out with guys that are dressed like women, you know what I'm saying, with lace fronts and wearing, like, you know what I'm saying, bodysuits and shit.
So your question is...
Like, I mean...
why not be with a woman?
Right.
Well, it just goes with what I said before. It's still, at the end of the day...
It's like you basically saying, like, I want you to look like a woman when we in public, but when we get back to the house, I want that dick.
Wow.
So... I want you to look like a boy when we in public so you can kind of pass, but when we get home, I'm trying to eat that pussy. That's all it is.
What? You're confusing me. But I think that I definitely don't think that that's the mind frame. I don't think that they're saying, okay, I want you to pass as the opposite gender, as the other gender, counterpart gender. I don't believe that they're thinking that, because clearly you see that it's just a feminine presenting male, or with females it's a masculine presenting female, and I think most of us can kind of like decipher that. So I think as far as sexuality goes, sometimes sexuality is just not that simple, you know. I think sexuality is complicated. I don't think that we can really box sexuality into any sort of like simple terms, because I believe that it's different for everybody. And the reason why I say that is because when you think in terms of, when we're talking about sexuality, you know, people have fetishes for things that we're like, that's nasty or that's weird, or sexuality can't really be defined sometimes into terms that we can all understand holistically, because we all have different, our brains are different.
Right.
So
100%.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't really speak on all of that because, I mean, me personally, I'm fluid, so it's just kind of like, oh, if this is something that attracts me, then it attracts me, and I may or may not question it because previously in my life I may have thought the same way you're thinking, you know, like, oh, I would never, you know, I would never, but then I might be presented with the situation and be like, oh, wait a minute.
Like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I might. No, I get it. Like, in my head, I imagine that the first, like, lesbian, bisexual experience to ever happen was, like, hundreds of years ago. There was maybe, like, a girl who grew up with all brothers in a hut or something like that and just came out, like, really tomboyish. And then maybe like one day met some other people, and there was a girl who thought that this house had all boys, that it was like all brothers, just maybe one brother had a little bit longer hair than the other ones or something.
Oh, novel. You getting down to the hair.
You know, it's just like, oh, that one brother has longer hair than the rest, but I really like that one. You know, he's cute. And then found out that the brother is not a brother. It was actually a girl, but was like, oh no, it's a girl, but I'm still attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Gotcha.
I still like this one, even though now I know it's not even a boy, but something still has me like. And then that became a thing, and then it was just like, oh, this is not bad.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you look at artifacts from different ancient civilizations, you'll find bisexuality and what we call homosexuality now portrayed in those artifacts. And I don't know, well, we don't know whether or not within those ancient civilizations if that was actually labeled or not, but you know, it's always existed. And it exists in animals too. Like if you study animals, especially monkeys, you know, they engage in fluid sexuality and like fluid sexual intercourse. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Really?
you didn't
I
know
did
that?
not know that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, monkeys, they've done studies where, and I promise I'm not joking, like this is a real term. There's a term, it's called,
Swaggy P?
Wait, let me not say the term because I might mess up, but I think it was called penis fencing. I promise you. Now, I may have messed the term up a little bit, but they did a study. I can't remember what type of monkey it was, but the monkeys would, you know, get their peni, and their, you know, and like hit them together. Like, I promise. Like,
They were sword fighting.
yeah, and they
What
labeled
the
it and everything.
fuck?
It's like, yeah, it's a real thing. So you find all of these engagements, you know, across species. But it's just that when it comes down to Homo sapiens, when it comes down to us, well, humans, our brains are wired in such a way where we just have to think about everything and question everything and try to be so smart about everything. And sometimes it's just nature, and you just let nature be what it is. And it's not really fair to always be like constantly labeling shit, you know? Because then it just separates us. It's not fair.
That is true.
And when you look at other
Because when
species,
you label
it's like,
shit, then
it's
people
normal.
be like, well, I'm this and I'm that. And
Then
there's
it's
a
like,
clash.
oh, well, now I don't. You can meet somebody and just in passing, oh, this person seems really cool. And then they might say that one thing that is anti whatever your category is, let's say politically, ethnically, you know, so on and so forth. And then once they say that, oh, well, you instantly don't like them anymore. But before they said that, y'all were vibing, you know? So it's just like these worldly separations that we put up as humans. But when you look at human nature, that's not necessarily natural. We're the ones imposing that upon ourselves. So when it comes to sexuality, why do we do that to each other? Like, what's the point?
You got a point.
I feel like it's all just based on ego. And
That is very true.
yeah, I just don't think it's
That
fair.
is very true. Yeah, because I'm like, I never really understood somebody who was homosexual not wanting to tell people that.
Yeah.
Like, that was just always my thing. Like, I felt like if I was like that, I would just be like, this is what I am. You know what I'm saying? What, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I knew people back in the day, you know what I'm saying, that were like gay for the longest, but would still just be like, when we go around my people, you know what I'm saying, they don't know, you know what I mean, whoop, whoop, and it would just be like, my nigga, just, you know what I'm saying, like, we not tripping on the fact that you, like, you know what I'm saying, so that's your family, like, we not even your family, my nigga, you know what I'm saying, like, you just the homie and shit, you know what I mean, but it's like, your family can't even have your back, and it's like, you came to us and was like,
open about it.
Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, just so y'all niggas know, because y'all my niggas, you know what I'm saying? This is what I like. You might see me with dudes sometime, and niggas was just like,
okay.
We don't, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We like, my nigga, we don't give a fuck. We kind of knew that shit anyway, you know what I mean? You ain't fooling nobody, my nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But we don't care, nigga. It's
right.
like, do you know what I'm saying? If anything, more ladies for me.
You stupid. That's true though. Nah, yeah, I get you, and I feel like it's because within our families we already know, like, from day one we're held up to these particular expectations, or they kind of like set it for you. They set whatever expectation for you, maybe not even telling you, just because of like the family dynamic or whatever it may be. And so you're coming up and you like your parents or your siblings, people in your family will make remarks maybe about sexuality, and then it automatically makes you feel like, oh, well, if I'm that, then that's bad because they're saying stuff against it. So that means that if I ever fall into that, I'm bad, right? Because they're the ones that program us into thinking that way. So when we start like trying to take that programming away, we have to do it outside of our families where we came up within. So, you know, you do that obviously in school, and then you start discovering stuff about the world, but at the end of the day, you still have to come home, and they're the ones that are providing. As a kid, they're providing for you. They're the ones putting the roof over your head, right? So you feel like, oh, well, what if my mom or my dad or whoever gets mad, and now I'm fucked?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're the ones, especially as a kid, that they control
what
your...
kind of fucking parent?
Well, yeah. Most parents are, I mean, maybe not anymore, but...
would do some shit like that. Like, come on.
I mean, they just don't, they come from a time where that's bad, I guess. You know, this goes back to what I was saying about the whole separation. It's just, you know, it's this whole culture that we as people have established that isn't necessarily natural. It's just what's come along with where we've come as a civilization, I guess. It's weird. Like, if you really look at history and the way everything has transpired and the way that we live now is so unnatural. Like, you drive on the road and there's dead animals like squashed up from cars, and it's like, oh, whatever, you keep driving. Like, that's not natural. Like, that's, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man, like, when it comes to my kids, I got 2 boys and 2 girls. And it's like, they can all come to me and be like, Daddy, we like girls. And I'd be like, okay, tell them if they put their hands on you, I'll beat that ass. And they come to me and be like, Daddy, we like boys. Okay, tell them if they put their hands on you, I'll beat that ass.
Who wants smoke?
That's how it should be, you know. You should never, your
like,
kids shouldn't feel afraid to be able to be open, you know. Like, my daughter's only 6 years old, but she told me about her friend, and I was like, oh, so does your friend, does she watch this show that you watch and stuff like that? She's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? She's like, no, she probably watches. And my daughter starts naming off shows, and I'm like, well, what makes you say that she watches that? You don't watch that. She's like, yeah, Mom, but I'm a different type of girl. I'm like, what do you mean you're a different type of girl? She's like, well, I just like Sonic, and I just like, you know, like Nighttime Freddy, and I'm a different type of girl. I'm like, so what do you mean? You like stuff that's not for girls, or
5 times Freddy's too?
Nighttime Freddy, yeah. Yeah, but she was just saying, like, I guess that was her way of saying, well, I'm kind of the tomboy, and my friend isn't, but, like, I know I'm different. You know, that's what my daughter was telling me. I'm like, that's crazy to me that you already recognize that and you're only 6.
She's like, I'm way different than that, and I'm like, all of that Barbies and shit.
Yeah, crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so we start developing that thought process pretty much from day one.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we're put out into society, like, you know, everything is just programmed into us.
Let me just take a quick second to say we are smoking and drinking on this show, but I want y'all to notice something. I'm sitting here with my glass of rosé, and then we got our Latina mommy over here, straight tequila.
It has lime in it, and it's
lime.
not full, and there's salt.
She going in. Okay, so now next thing I want to get into when it comes to this bisexuality thing. Now, is there a level of oral? Like, who really does it better? Do women do it better because y'all know y'all stuff? Or is it like up and down, you know? Because I've been told that I'm pretty strict. So therefore, you know, and I've been told this by women who are bisexual.
Gotcha.
So I feel like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing my thing. Like, I mean, is it better? Is it not? What's going on with it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on your experience, you know, your amount of partners, and then obviously gender plays a role too. So depending on if you've been with more of this gender, more of that gender, I guess will formulate your opinion. For me, I think it's really just depending on a individual basis, like per individual, regardless of gender. I think that as a woman, it's like, okay, yeah, if you're familiar with yourself and you're familiar with your body, and you apply those likes of yourself onto another woman, it may or may not please the woman. Because some women don't enjoy the same. Some women don't enjoy penetration. Right?
Okay, you know what? That I get that.
So you may be a woman who enjoys penetration and then think, oh, well, this is part of, you know, what I like. So if I apply this to another woman, she's gonna like it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, oh, I like penetration, and you apply that to a woman who doesn't like it, and then she's like, whoa, what are you doing? And then it's a whole, you know. So I think it's just a matter of getting to know your partner, regardless of gender. Because the same thing with males. There's some males who like certain things, and there's other males who are like, what the fuck is that about?
I feel you.
You see what I mean? So I think it's definitely
There's
like
a lot of niggas out here getting their booty ate.
Yeah.
And what the fuck?
Again, yeah. So I think it's an individual, definitely individual.
I mean, do you, my nigga? But what in the entire fuck? Yeah, y'all can have that. That's cool. Yeah, so you know, yeah, I just always wondered that, and then I guess, you know, any bisexual or homosexual men that are watching this episode, feel free to comment in the comment section your take on whether or not it's better or worse, or like she said, just depending on the person. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own thing, you know what I'm saying? I support it. It's just, it ain't for me.
It's not, yeah. Everybody's different.
Yeah, for real. But I will say though, you know, like how I said, it's a lot of niggas out here getting their booty ate. That ain't for me either. But I am kind of partial to the other way around.
Oh, see, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Which I know a lot of people be like, what the fuck, nigga? It's like, nah, my nigga, like, I'm Kevin Gates.
You feel me? Yeah, and everybody in Atlanta need to know one thing. I eat booty.
I'm Kevin Gates. Yo, I don't know if Kevin Gates watching this, but I seen you at the airport and you straight dissed me. And I was the only one that recognized you in the whole place. At the time, it was early in the morning, it was business flights. So, you know, those corporate folks, but I was the only person, and you dissed me. You straight Kevin.
Kevin, my nigga.
But you know it's
Not
all
Miss
good. I know
Malik.
you got 6 jobs and everything. So I get it. You know, it's cool.
No, but for real though, I'm Kevin Gates out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that nigga.
Okay, so
when I
he
seen
made
that
a
video
tweet.
when that nigga was like,
What video?
and man, that nigga cracks me up when he say that shit. There's a video that's been floating around. Somebody was talking to him about oral, and that nigga was like, "So you eat the booty, my nigga?" And he was like, "I eat the booty." And he was like, "Booty, my nigga, booty." I eat the booty.
Hey,
nigga.
Louisiana. Shout out all Louisiana folks. We out here in Houston. You
I
know,
want
we
everybody
family.
out there to
We
know.
family.
I eat the booty. And I was just like, my nigga, I get it.
But you do know he's also said, you know, controversial things that a while back somebody was like, well, I heard that when you were in prison, you know, you were fucking a dude. And he was like, well, what did they tell you? That I was the top or the bottom? Or something like that. He didn't say top or bottom. He said, like, I was the bitch or I was, you know how he talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was just like, he answered the question with the question. And then he had made a tweet not too long ago talking about whenever the cat, you know, the pussy, whatever, smells pissy, I get excited because that means that she a squirter. Yo. Yo.
Is that what that means?
Well, that's what he said.
I mean, anybody that knows anything about that, feel free to comment in the comments. Whether that's true or not.
Mm.
If it smells pissy, is it squirting? I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Or if you're a female who is a squirter, do you smell pissy?
Oh my!
I mean, I'm saying, like, or is that something he just made up, or, you know, I don't know, you know, because there might be some
Sounds
girls
like
out
it's
there
speaking
like,
on
I don't be
experience.
smelling pissy, but I be squirting.
Well, to him,
There
that's what it smells like.
you go. Yeah.
They're like, some people like weird smells.
Yeah.
Some people like the smell of
That is
gasoline.
so fucking true.
Some people like the smell of
love
tires. I like the smell of tires.
gasoline. I fucking love the smell of gasoline.
I'm dead.
Oh my
I like the
God.
smell of tires. Like when you walk into a tire store, I'm like, oh.
Oh my God. I love the smell of rubbing alcohol too. Like, for
What?
real. I love that shit.
That's
For
weird.
real, man.
Yo, you should
I be
make a
trying not
line
to
of
pass
candles
out.
like that, like or incense, like. Like this is the tires one. This
The
is
tire,
the
this
rubbing
is the
alcohol.
rubbing alcohol.
The weird smells.
The rubbing
like.
alcohol one burns in 2 seconds because it just ignites.
And that's what I was saying about how we're all different. Like, you know what I mean? Some of
Yeah,
us-
that is very true because a lot of people really love mustard.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's say for instance, if I go to Subway and I get myself a sandwich, I literally would tell them, I will be like, a very thin strip.
I don't.
You know, just like
I don't want it at all.
A thin strip of mustard I could do for that little kick. But other than that, I am not fucking with
I don't
mustard
fuck with
at
mustard.
all.
I fuck with mustard and potato salad.
Really?
Yeah, if it's a
Okay,
mustard based
is that
potato
a
salad, I'll
down
eat
south
that.
thing?
Oh, forget you
Because-
from Cali.
Yeah, from where I come from, we don't put
What is
mustard
it? Just
in
mayonnaise?
everything. It's mayo, and then sometimes also a little bit of ranch or sour cream is put in to make it like light
That
and fluffy.
sounds fucking good.
It is really good. But then, you know, I came down here and I would see a lot of places would have the potato salad, and it always did have like that yellowy
And
color
you're
to
like,
it.
ugh.
And I'm like, why the fuck is your potato salad? And then I started seeing people who would make it be like, oh yeah, we put
It's
mustard in that
normal.
shit. And I'm
You're like, that's not normal.
no.
I don't know. Maybe it is a down south thing. So within my family, personally, on my Mexican side, Mexican American side, they make mayo based potato salad for the most part. But then I do have like that one. I don't know who makes it, but there's always like the yellow option, you know. So I got used to both of them. But as far as like putting mustard on a hot dog, a sandwich, I don't like it. I'll
not
eat
fucking
like
with
honey mustard,
Mm-mm.
but I don't do regular
I'm not
yellow
fucking with mustard at all on anything other
But some
than a
people love
Subway
it.
sandwich. You know
Some
what?
people love
Because
it.
for some reason, I think what it is I can only tolerate the taste of mustard with lettuce. Like with
Oh, there
the
you go.
vegetables, it's almost like salad dressing.
Mm.
So it comes off like that to me, but on everything else, I'm like, get that fucking shit out of here. It stinks.
It stinks.
It's fucking sour.
It's sour.
But some people literally just be dipping
Going
shit in
in on
mustard
that
and then I just
shit.
be like, what the fuck? But no, you're totally right. Because some people, I mean, yeah. I mean, because there's been instances where it's like I might have had a situation with somebody that I felt like wasn't the freshest. And it didn't work out with us because I couldn't deal with that shit. But then they would go off and get into a relationship with somebody who, you know, where that worked out great. And it's like, well, apparently this motherfucker loves that shit.
Oh,
It
what do you mean
wasn't
the
for me.
freshest?
Like freshness.
Oh,
you know what
wow.
I'm saying? So it's like, I couldn't
Oh.
deal with it, but apparently this nigga
So did you ever
thinks
address
it's okay.
it?
I always address it. I am not fucking with that shit. I always address it.
That's
But I do try to be polite about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of niggas out here that'll be like trying to do some shit and then they'll be like, ooh, your pussy stink, you gotta go. And like just straight up on some gangster shit. And it's like,
Ugh.
I'm not that hard up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be nice about it. I'm not a mean guy. People look at me and assume that I'm mean, and then sometimes I have to be mean to people, so they just assume that that's me, and it's like, no, that's you.
Gotcha. So
That ain't me. You brought that out. Just
with, you know, bringing it back around to the subject matter, did you ever, like, growing up and stuff, were you ever encountered with any situations like around that realm where maybe males would try to approach you and think, hey, and you were like, no, I don't.
You mean dudes trying to hit on me?
Yeah, or just anything.
Fuck yeah.
And so how do you deal with
Like all the time, like
what
every
do you do?
day.
What do you do?
For the most part, I laugh this shit off.
Like in front of them?
Not like laughing right in your face, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because I would say, like, I've never really had somebody like directly be like, hey, what's up, my nigga? You want to go out or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I think with guys, they try to like test you. You know what I'm saying?
Test the
To
waters.
see like what you gonna say, and then if they get that certain vibe, they'll say something to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm pretty sure that they get the vibe from me that that's not what it's about. But it's like people still like to throw little things out. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll post something in my story, and then somebody will go in my story and, you know, send me a message and be like, ooh, you looking like a snack or something like that. And then I'll just like laughing emojis and then the little praying hands like, thank you. But I'm not finna sit up there and be like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna entertain that shit. We not, you know, let's just end the conversation right here. Thanks, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You funny. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
You know, I'll
So
be
you're
nice
just
with it.
cool.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
And like I said, you know what I'm saying?
You have
if
an
that's
answer.
you, do you. You know what I'm saying? I support. Just please don't try me.
So once you say that, they're
It ain't
like,
for me.
oh, okay, they understand. Like,
Yeah, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
okay.
It's like, you know, I still get comments and shit. I feel like people still be kind of trying to, but you can tell, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I say a lot of stuff. I do a lot of shit that, you know what I'm saying, will definitely tell you that that's not what it is. So, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
I also post things in my story like, what's my nigga's name? Pachu Torres. He's a illustrator, but he does erotic art. So it's like all of his page is dudes choking chicks and chicks eating each other out, and you know what I'm saying, like a dude pulling the chick's panties to the side, you know what I'm saying, like just really cool looking shit. And it's like sometimes he'll post some shit that I'll see and I'll be like, oh, Like, that's fire. And then I go and fucking post the shit in my story. So it's like, looking at shit like that, you should kind of be able to tell, like,
Right, but that's on social media. So what if we're like, hey, let's go get something to eat after this. And we go, and then you're in public, and somebody is like, oh, I'm going to approach him.
And some dude just walk right
That's
up
never
to
happened to
me and be
you?
like, never.
Oh, I have a
Like I said, I think I just give off the vibe of, like, don't try it.
Oh, you're intimidating.
I mean,
I have a cousin that
apparently-
happens to him all the time. He's married, you know, the woman is stubborn, but that happens to him all the time.
Really? I mean, I would say I get stares. Like, if I'm somewhere and it's like, you know, some gay dudes or something around, like, I would definitely get stares. But I think that what they waiting for is like that eye contact, and I don't give it.
But
you
you
know what I'm
know,
saying? But it's like, I can see it, I might glance for a second, but then it's like, ooh, you staring too long, let me not even, because no, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? So nobody has ever actually just walked up to me and been like, hey, how you doing?
But if
Actually,
that
you
did
know
happen,
what? Take that back. There was one time I was at 77 degrees and I was on a date. And when I was getting drinks, there was a bald head dude, looked like Kenny Lattimore, standing next to me. And, you know, when I was getting the drinks or whatever, he did like the turn and kind of looked me up and down and then turned back. And then kind of turned and looked again and then turned back. And then I'm just standing there and then he turns again. He was like, you having a good night? And I was just like, yeah, man. And he was like, oh, yeah, just getting started, huh? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm having a good time. And then he was just like, cool. And then I just grabbed my drinks and walked off because I'm like, I guess he was expecting for me to kind of try
continue.
to keep, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it ain't for me.
yeah. But you're like, when it happens, you're like, it's cool.
It's cool. Yeah, nah, I don't get
that's
like
good.
offended. I know
That's
some
good.
dudes would be like, what you mean, nigga? Talking to me, motherfucker, ain't with that shit. Nah, I don't do all of that shit, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
If somebody ever did do that, I would just be like, I'm flattering my nigga, but I don't roll like that.
So why do you think some people react hostile like that? Like,
Okay, 2 reasons. I would say they react hostile like that because them niggas is actually gay and are just trying their
Defensive.
best to not seem like it, or you just kind of stupid and you just one of those people who just can't accept people for who they are.
Right.
So you want to get mad at somebody hitting on you. And it's like, nigga, there's nothing to be mad about. You need to be flattered. Like, that
Right.
motherfucker thinks you attractive. Thank you, my nigga. I appreciate it. I don't roll like that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, you got me feeling myself now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to fly off the handle at a nigga.
and
Not
you
unless
said
the nigga
y'all had
is
friends
like...
that were like, you had friends who
Right.
were gay, and he was like, it didn't matter.
Exactly. When you're in the entertainment industry, everybody got gay friends. Half your friends are gay.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no big deal. It's like, who cares?
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, you know, I wouldn't fly off the handle on nobody. I would say unless the nigga was badgering me. Like, if I already was like, nah, my nigga, but you still like, then it's like, my nigga, I told you I ain't with that shit. Now back the fuck up.
Okay.
But yeah, nah, other than that, I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? People are people. We all the same on the inside.
So what about, you know, like with Dwayne Wade? Was it Dwayne Wade? His son?
Oh, yeah,
Males?
yeah.
So if you were encountered with a situation like that where your son's like, hey, I want to, you know,
Paint his nails?
get my nails done, like, what would you do? Do you feel like that's gay, or do you feel like that's just, it could just be fashion?
Okay, this is exactly what I would do. I would first tell my son that is something that is usually for girls and see what he say. Because my sons are the type, like, it doesn't never really happen, but it's like if you tell them like, oh no, that's for girls. And then it's like, oh, well, yeah, then no, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I wouldn't be tripping if it was just still like, yeah, but I want it. Then it's like,
Then you're like,
oh, well
okay,
then, yeah.
So when it comes to the nails, you know, males having painted nails or fake nails or whatever, do you feel like that's just fashion? Do you feel like that could just be fashion? It has nothing to do with sexuality?
You know what? I feel it could be.
Yeah.
It just depends. I feel like if you're doing it on an everyday basis, then maybe that's more sexuality. But if you're doing it based on an outfit, or like for instance, if I was to paint my nails, but it was for a photo shoot so that my nails matched what I was wearing or some shit, then fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, go for that shit. That'd be fire.
Well, yeah, because, you know, I always think
be
about
all
artists.
up in the motherfucking pictures,
like just flashing it.
Get him.
Well, I always think about artists, you know, like Prince, you know, the stuff that he would wear, and, you know, nowadays.
Really androgynous.
Yeah, and nowadays people are like,
Put
you know, that
up on the screen.
androgynous. How do you spell that? A-D-R. I'm good at spelling. Don't get it twisted.
I'm gonna use spell check.
But yeah, nowadays the Latin artist Bad Bunny, everybody's like, oh, he's so controversial, and you know, his nails, and you know, he wore this outfit, and a lot of stuff that is normally for women, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, well, you know, there's been other artists, Prince, Dennis Rodman, basketball player.
Yeah,
you know, he was
out.
this is
wore a
not
wedding
anything.
dress.
Yeah, so it's not anything that's necessarily new. And I mean, Dennis Rodman dated Madonna. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, well, is fashion
And Prince dated an abundance of women.
of women? So I'm like, fashion doesn't always necessarily define sexuality, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I just feel like we should be able to be fluid in those types of things. But society,
You know what? I 100% agree, because this is the one thing that I will say about gay dudes. Gay dudes know how to keep they motherfucking selves together.
yeah,
Like, these niggas be doing the fucking facial regimens and be having the eyebrows and the motherfucking beards with where they use the razor blade to get that shit extra fucking clean and shit. I'll be like, damn, how you niggas be doing?
yeah.
I'll be out here looking rough sometimes. You niggas be out here just
You gotta get
sucked in and shit.
Sucked in. I'm fucking done.
Man, for real. I seen a nigga one time. It was a video, I think, on Instagram. It was a dude, gay dude, and he had like super pink lips for some reason. And in the video, he was saying that how he got the pink lips was he would take a toothbrush with some brown sugar and then wet the brown sugar, put it on the toothbrush, and he just brushed his lips with the fucking brown sugar, and he was like, it would like exfoliate his lips and basically like take all of the shit, you know what I'm saying? So it took it back to like really pink.
That's
so this
dope.
nigga had like super pink lips and shit, and I'm just like looking at that shit like, do I need to start fucking brushing? I be smoking and shit. I need to start exfoliating my shit so I can have me some pink lips. You know what I'm saying?
Why not? Bubblegum.
I need to get on my shit though, for real. I need to get on my skincare. Although I don't be tripping on that shit. Like most of the time when I go and do a photo shoot, you know, like when they doing the editing, I'll be like, you don't have to edit my shit that much. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not tripping. I know I got the Morgan Freeman going on. You know what I'm saying? But I fucking love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is life on here. All of these little fucking scars from fucking MMA and car accidents and
Your
shit. You know what I'm
season.
saying? Yeah, exactly.
Your
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope you got a really good camera. Get every motherfucking nook and cranny in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's experience.
Authenticity. You want to portray authenticity. That's really cool. Because nowadays, it's real, like, superficial, real, like, smooth, filtered out, contoured.
Exactly. You can look right in my face and see a life story. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Okay, so you said you were fluid. Now, what exactly does that mean?
I don't really know. It's really just like, I can't give you like an exact definition because I'm just going through life with what I consider fluid for me. So whatever I feel, what my intuition tells me, and you know, I'm just trying to go off of that. And I have to abide by society in some form, you know, because I have to survive. So it's like I had to pay my bills. I'm a mom, you know, I have to make sure my child has stability. So my fluidity is like, it's there, yeah, but I also have to be logical within this realm that I'm currently in, you know. So I have to try to find that balance. But fluidity for me is just being authentic to myself, authentic to the way that I feel, and just like honor myself and stop trying to please others with the way that I live my life, because this is my life, you know. So when it comes to the subject matter of the podcast today, when it comes to sexuality in general, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, well, I'm so fluid that I just like anybody, or it doesn't mean that, you know. It just, for me, it just means like, okay, I feel an attraction towards this person, or whatever I'm feeling towards the person, then I might honor that. Like, I might be true to that when I take, of course, everything else into consideration when it comes to like maturity level, age, you know, intellect, like whatever you look for as like to stimulate your mind and to stimulate yourself in different aspects. So I think a lot of people have this misconception.
It can't just be always about the sex.
Right.
It can be a lot more than that. So.
And I think people always have a misconception of when they hear, oh, gay, bi, lesbian, when they hear those words, I think not everybody, but many people just automatically have this misconception like, oh, you're lesbian, like, now you want to, like, fuck every girl, like, that's not what it
like,
means.
oh, you're a lesbian, you've been looking at my butt, and it's like...
Right, and same thing for a male. Or if it's like, oh, I heard that, you dated a girl or whatever, so now... whenever we hang out, like, you might not just view me as a friend, like, you might want me. I think a lot of women have that, and it's like, no, doesn't mean that. It's just like, it's an individual basis. It doesn't, being a person that is gay or lesbian or, anything that people consider out of the norm, it doesn't mean that you just want, that you're thirsty, it's still just a regular person, like, and it's the same thing, like, with heterosexuality. It's like, okay, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna like every single freaking guy.
Exactly.
It's like, it might just be this one guy I like.
Just because you like guys don't mean you like them all.
Every single guy, and
so just
I feel
you
like
girls don't mean that you like them all.
Every girl, just because you might be a male who likes other males doesn't mean you want every male that crosses your way. Exactly. So I think that's kind of disrespectful when it's like, oh, that guy's gay, and now another guy is like, well, I don't want to go around. He might not even fucking think you cute. Like, you might think you ugly as hell. Like, and even if he did find you remotely attractive, that doesn't mean that they're desperate to get down with you. Like, there's not a shortage of sex.
Hey, exactly.
So yeah, I don't really like that, when people start acting some kind of way, because you're trans, oh, you're this, you're that, like, oh, now doesn't change anything. Like, that's not fair.
Right.
That's prejudice.
Right.
But people don't really see it as that. And hopefully one day they will, but people just see it as, oh, it's like an agenda, y'all want to make everybody, y'all want to sterilize everybody. Like, no, fuck, it's not that. Well, I'll ask you something. So you being an artist, you model, you do music, you're multifaceted. You even do photography, right?
Yeah.
Okay, behind the scenes, in front of the camera, you do everything. So with you being so multifaceted, I know. And like you said, you're like, I have a lot of, in the entertainment industry, like, I know plenty of people who are homosexual, whatever, bisexual. So if a model comes to you and says, or just even a client and says, look, I love your photography, I want to give you this amount, or maybe not give you an amount, but just wants to work with you, and says, I want to take pictures for my OnlyFans, a male, and he wants to take erotic photos, perhaps nude photos, maybe even some with a partner. And this is a friend, like, it's like this is a person you've worked with, you have a good rapport with this person, and now they're a potential client for your photography. How would you feel about that?
Fuck no. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. If a male friend of mine came to me and was like, hey, I really like your shit, I've been trying to get fucking dudes to come and shoot.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
To do stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, you're not like, I mean, if that's what they want to do with some OnlyFans shit, cool. but I have reached out to some of my male friends to be like, hey, my nigga, come do like a fucking shirt off. I'll put you with the wings on. You know what I'm saying? Same shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, we'll link up. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's did the shit, so that's why I don't have nobody yet. But no, if somebody came to me and said that shit, let's fucking do it.
Now, do you see? And it's interesting that you said that because you're like, you mentioned plenty of times. You know, you don't roll that way. You're not homosexual. But it sounds like you're really comfortable with your sexuality because you're like, yeah, I'll take pictures of my homeboys. Like,
yeah, I know that I'm so heterosexual that homosexuality does not bother me.
That's awesome.
At all.
That's
you know
cool.
what I'm saying? Because it's like I know where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like
you're rooted.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's not like I don't want nobody to think I'm gay, and that's like I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So do you feel like a lot of those friends you reached out to haven't followed through because perhaps they feel uncomfortable?
I really don't know.
Have you
I
thought
don't
about
think
that?
So. Like
but you know, not everybody thinks like you.
That's true. I'm like, but these are the type of people that I'm pretty sure are very comfortable in their homosexuality.
You might think that.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. What's up with that? Niggas?
That would be a good, Q&A.
Come shoot. Ain't nobody scared of y'all.
And he ain't talking about guns, y'all.
They ain't talking about that, nigga. But if you want to do that, I got them too.
He's talking about lenses.
Okay, yeah, so I got it now. So, okay, so with bisexuality, now, here's the thing. We probably about to get into an argument right now, y'all, on this part. So get ready. This finna get
hold
good.
me back.
This finna get good. You know, and anybody that want to argue me down, I don't care. Get in the comments. You can DM me, jump in my shit, give me the addy, I'll pull up. We can have an argument. But I think if you are a bisexual person, meaning you like men and women, but when you're with a man, you only date a man, and when you're with a woman, you only date a woman, and you don't like to intertwine that, you're selfish.
Oh.
That's what the fuck you are. You are selfish. That is not fair.
So I feel like what you're saying is. So I don't think this is what I think about that. I think that it's another one of those individually based topics. I think that it's individually based A, and B, it's also on your relationship dynamic. So I think if you have a strong relationship, both of you are very confident in one another, you're very confident in your love, and very secure, then I think the partner who is bisexual would be open to a multi-sex thing.
Threesome.
Or more. Group, whatever.
Where they at though?
Group, that's very common now.
So yeah, like I'm saying, I mean, I know a lot of people are going to argue this point, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit selfish. Like if you bisexual, have threesomes. That's kind of the point in being bisexual to me. Like I feel like you like both people.
Wait a minute, there's a point.
You also like both people for the fact of being like, I can have them both at the same time.
Right, but you have to realize, like, it's just like everything.
Don't be selfish.
But look, it's just like everything else in life. So in life, it's like I want to eat, I don't know, a steak.
She started off with, I want to eat.
My ass be hungry. This is a real
life.
These are real life examples. Okay, like I want to eat a steak and I want to eat a cheesecake, at the same time or whatever. But okay, like me personally, my body can't digest red meat. I know I'm so ethnic and I don't know what happened. I can't digest red meat. I'm fucking lactose intolerant. And I like eating that stuff. I've tried it and everything, but it's like, it is gonna wear on me later, right? So I think if you want to make that analogous to what you're speaking on, it's just like, okay, am I secure in this relationship? Do I trust this person? And then you have to think about your sexual health. It's like, which is so freaking contrary to just having sex in general, because having sex is so human nature, so innate. It's like you don't want to think about, oh, let me switch condoms. It's like, well, you don't want to think about all that. You just want to like go. right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like, okay,
Yeah,
there's
honestly, if you was in a threesome and had to do the switching condom thing, I think that would be a little.
it kills it.
I feel like the best threesomes would be when it's like a guy with two girls that he know are okay, and you
Oh
just
my
don't
god!
have to
Well, then
use
you
it.
gotta go on Pornhub and be
just
be a Pornhub star because
You
they
just don't have to use condoms. You
but
can
the
just be
thing
going
is
back
that-
and forth.
Okay, let's say in the best ideal way, all three of y'all were like, look, we're gonna do this, we're gonna go all get checked together, here's my paperwork, like we all know it's good. But what if the night before y'all's event, one of them girls outside did keep them all sick? You don't know. Or what if everything was good, but then afterwards that happened,
Right.
and then y'all reconvened, and then it became a whole, okay, we're always gonna do this, we're all comfortable, but you don't know what it just becomes messy.
Yeah.
And then it may or may not destroy your main, so I think that's maybe where the
Okay. I do also feel too like I've known girls who would say that they don't like doing the threesome thing because of the fact of like they've had situations where the guy would like run off with the other girl.
That's what I mean.
You
See,
know what I'm
I've
saying?
never
And I'm like, to
done
me,
that,
now this is
but-
coming from me, y'all. Me, honestly, I think that is the stupidest fucking shit ever. You got to be a dumbass nigga to be in a relationship with a female who is okay with you having threesomes with other females and then be trying to run off with the other female. Nigga, you already got one that's down for the shit. Like,
right.
why would you do that? And then on top of that, you don't know this other girl.
But
She down for the threesome with y'all, but then you get in a relationship with her and she be like, oh nah, we ain't doing that.
right,
You with me now.
Right.
Now you just fucked yourself out of threesomes, nigga. You stupid.
But see, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier with the maturity and then the dynamic of all of those aspects come into play. So if you're like, you just stated, okay, this is your mindset and stuff like that. And then if you have a partner, a girlfriend or a spouse or whatever who has the same mindset, who understands your mindset, and y'all are just in agreement with all that, then yeah. But I mean, that's few and far. How do you say far, few between, few? That shit. Yeah. So it's just a matter of being really rooted in your relationship and then exploring those outlets. I think it's definitely possible, but it's just about focusing on one thing at a time, getting rooted in your relationship and stuff like that. Don't, and then exploring the other outlets, but just taking it, not just being like, oh, let's, and then everything fucks up. It's like, okay, well, let's just root ourselves, make sure we're really, really, really good, and then we're going to get to a level in our relationship where it's like, okay, here's this chapter, here's that chapter. Like, you just got to take it chapter by chapter.
Exactly.
How thick is the Bible? How thick is the Quran, y'all? How thick is the Torah? I don't know.
Right. Just some advice though. If you are one of the lucky guys who has a woman that is giving you like regular threesomes, nigga, don't be trying to run off with the side chick. That's a fucking stupid move.
Well, okay. This is what I wanted to say. Yo, okay. Okay. Polyamorous people. That's different.
Yeah.
That's not even the whole, like, you're like run off with the side chick. Polyamorous, I don't know, but from my understanding, it's not run off, it's like, this is
Stay
it.
tuned for another episode. I actually do have a friend who's polyamorous.
There you go.
I told her to come on to talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they be like full-blown relationship, like,
Oof.
you know what I'm saying?
That sounds like way too much work.
You know what? It sounded like way too much work, but then when she was like kind of explaining it to me how shit went with her one time, it was just like, huh. You know what I'm saying?
It's
because it
workable.
was like everybody was together, they were sharing the bills and shit like that, which was making everybody's portion extremely low.
So you're thinking economically,
like
we need to have a fucking
she
polyamorous.
the girl was like
We're
around her
struggling out here.
size, so it was like double your wardrobe, you know what I mean? there would always be like somebody for something. It's like maybe like, you know, the girl and the guy would be going to a show, and then the one would stay with kids and shit, and then the other one could go, and you know, like different shit like that.
So, okay, my thing on that is, this is my only like about that. Well, not my only, but one of my onlys. The children's. Are we sisters? Are we brothers? Are we cousins? Are we friends? What's going on with that?
Happening? Yeah.
Okay, and then the whole.
That's my.
Well, what if y'all doing y'all
brother.
thing, and I got, you know, enough money to get a sitter, so my child duty is good too, and y'all, you know, as far as I'm concerned, bitch, I'm single tonight, and I'm finna go, you know. So how does that work? Like,
no, yeah, because it do be like that. It's like everybody has their own
side.
Like.
So okay, so now y'all have all this outside getting those. So okay, so what do y'all do? Like y'all have a contract where it's like, I use and you sign it in blood because we're not with you.
Exactly.
What is going on?
Exactly.
And then you coming home, and now we got a group problem. You know, it gets messy.
That is very true. Damn.
It gets messy.
Moral of the story is, this world is a crazy place.
Stay safe. Strap it up.
The best thing to do
Put your
is
seatbelt
be
on.
crazier.
Put your seatbelt on. Don't play.
Put your seatbelts on. Don't play. Strap it up. Refer back to the vagina episode.
Oh, yeah. True that.
Get tested. Don't be scared.
Bring your paperwork with you.
Bring your paperwork. We need receipts. We want to see them receipts. I think we covered enough.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah, you're going to have to go in and edit all that.
Well, we will see y'all next time on Man Cave.
I'm Libra, the motherfucking Don, nigga. I'm tired of y'all niggas playing with me, nigga. For real. Who wants smoke? Money on my mind. I'm just trying to get mine. Who wants smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who wants smoke? And you know I ain't lying. I hit you with that iron. Who wants smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke? You can have a whole chick. Who wants smoke? Money on my mind. I'm just trying to get mine. Who wants smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who wants smoke? And you know I ain't lying. I hit you with that iron. Who wants smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke? You can have a whole chick. Who wants smoke? Who the fuck you talking to, nigga? I'm the boss. I'm the hardest thing out. You niggas are soft. Coming up against me, you better know the cost. I have you like Jesus Christ pinned up on the cross. Bitches always coming round talking about my brother rat. Hey yo, your brother rat. Guess what? This shit is wet. And let that motherfucker know that I stay strapped. I must be being mine cause I will have your ass capped. Shot after shot in the air like a hand clap. And I spit more hot shit than an ass crack. And you know I keep my money long like I'm Amtrak. One hit from me, you will be gone like I'm Anthrax. And my flow is so acidic, you gon' need a Zantac. Only nigga in the world who could turn a clan black. Put your V's in the air, show me where my fans at. Y'all gon' let me in this fucking game unless you want smoke. Money on my mind, I'm just trying to get mine. Who wants smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who wants smoke? And you know I ain't lying. I hit you with that iron. Who wants smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke? You can have a whole chick. Who wants smoke? Money on my mind, I'm just trying to get mine. Who wants smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who wants smoke? And you know I ain't lying. I hit you with that iron. Who wants smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke? You can have a whole chick. Who wants smoke?
Existing cause you scary. If I run up, you get wary. Talking like you really with it. Without your click, you ain't shit. I'm one deep, got strong spirits. Don't talk about it if I did it. Ain't no capping, ain't no tripping. You want the smoke, but I'll finish. You a joke and I'm winning. Talk about me cause you wishing you could beat me. You can't fish it. You want the beef, I got chicken. You my light work, I eat spinach. I'm Popeye, keep 'em in line. You got no sense sunshine, water rising like I'm upside. Your leg dried up, all your fish fried, silicone carbide in your backside. Hold they breath when you pass by, keep it fresh. You need fluoride, me, I'm like carbon dioxide. Pulled out your smoke with my alkaline. Pick up this plex at the curbside. Moving dressed, I stay in design. Creeping socials, give you pesticides. Spoken poet, leave you tongue-tied. Try it, bitch, I got time.
I told you I ain't got time for that, but nigga, today I got time, cuz.
Who want smoke? Money on my mind, I'm just tryna get mine. Who want smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who want smoke? And you know I ain't lying, I hit you with that iron. Who want smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke, you can have a whole Who want smoke? Money on my mind, I'm just tryna get mine. Who want smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who want smoke? And you know I ain't lying, I hit you with that iron. Who want smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke, you can have a whole
What the fuck is you talking about? All you do is talk it out. You should be walking out or you would not be walking out. I'm from the city where we outline, chalk 'em out. Keep talking shit and I'll meet you in that parking lot. I bring the drama, nigga, that'll put your ass in trauma, nigga. Cause I spit like a llama, nigga, and I smoke a lot of ganja, nigga. I eat rappers alive, so some niggas call me diamond, nigga. I'm something like a piranha, nigga. I get the bombing like Osama, nigga. Fuck you and your mama, nigga. That's for fucking with my dollars, nigga. Fresh prep shirt because I am a college nigga. I'm a leader, you just follow niggas. And if you keep talking that shit, I hit you with them hollows, nigga. So you niggas come and get me. Cause nigga, when it comes to the city, ain't nobody out there fucking with me.
Money on my mind, I'm just tryna get mine. Who want smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who want smoke? And you know I ain't lying, I hit you with that iron. Who want smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke, you can have a whole Who want smoke? Money on my mind, I'm just tryna get mine. Who want smoke? I be on my grind, but I give you that fire. Who want smoke? And you know I ain't lying, I hit you with that iron. Who want smoke? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. You want smoke, you can have a whole Who want smoke?
Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke?